Hey everyone. Well, we've all seen them. Beautiful images overlaid with a profound and meaningful quotation draped across our Facebook or Instagram newsfeed by a well-meaning friend. I've got a request. If you could just all please stop. Stop communicating on social media through inspo quotes. Yeah, that's the trendy way of saying inspirational quotes. Now, on any given day, my social media feeds are flooded with inspirational quotes, status updates, and photos of people's perfect lives. Don't get me wrong, I do love a good believe in yourself kind of quote in neat typography over a serene ocean backdrop every now and then. But the incessant, non-stop posting of these affirmations is something I find a little bit concerning. Something just doesn't seem to add up. This generation's tendencies to shout out loud exactly how happy they are and how happy others should be is something that is referred to as positivity pandemonium. Now, according to a new study, people who post these inspirational quotes also have lower levels of intelligence. They're also more likely to hold some sort of spiritual belief, have found the New World Order, think their pesky little quote is going to change the world, and be taken in by conspiracy theories. Why am I saying all this? Well, I've done a little bit of research and there's been a study done called On the Reception and Detection of Pseudo-Profound Bullshit, and it measured 845 volunteers right across 4 different experiments. The psychologist and his team behind it asked the volunteers to evaluate several profound statements and say if they agreed with them or not. To mix it up a bit, the team also concocted several buzzword-filled sentences into a meaningless or blatantly obvious statement, like these. Breathe. I opened 2 gifts this morning. My eyes. Eat like no one is going to see you naked. Actually, I like that quote. Now, a follow-up test recorded the participants' cognitive ability through a series of tests. Gordon Pennycook, a cognitive psychologist, said, "We focus on pseudo-profound bullshit, which consists of seemingly impressive assertions that are presented as true and meaningful, but are actually vacuous." He says, "Our results support the idea that some people are more receptive to this type of bullshit and that detecting it is not merely a matter of indiscriminate skepticism, but rather a discernment of deceptive vagueness in otherwise impressive sounding claims."
When you actually think about the definition of bullshit from the philosophical tradition, we realize that something constructed absent any concern for the truth, this is an algorithm that generates this sort of fits what we thought was the true definition of bullshit. And we fancied this to be a particular kind. There's probably many types of bullshit. We called this the pseudo-profound. So what we did is we pulled, and there's another website similar called the New Age Bullshit Generator. So we pulled from Wisdom of Chopra and the New Age Bullshit Generator, and we gave people statements like this. And this is constructed by an algorithm. Hidden meaning transforms unparalleled abstract beauty. Quite simply, what we did is we asked people, how profound do you think that is? 1, not at all profound, and 5, very profound. And so we pulled these from this website. We got a scale developed. We called it the Bullshit Receptivity Scale. It's a very sound scale, psychometrically speaking. One thing that's kind of fun is people find, so on the scale, the bullshit is rated somewhere between somewhat and fairly profound. So people like it.
Now, of course, it doesn't matter whether you believe in these quotes or not. You're still a beautiful and unique snowflake. So you would think this is all the result of our society becoming happier and happier. However, if you look at the statistics, this is simply not the case. Now, according to an analysis of over 6.9 million US teens and adults, depression is increasingly on the rise. So what's really happening behind the scenes? Are people being sincere and actually living according to these quotes? Or do we now have an influx of social media actors living out online personas that they don't actually match who they really are? I guess in today's world, it appears that we have an Instagram life and a real life, and they don't necessarily match. And yes, that is a thing. When I even look at my own network at some of the biggest offenders of positivity pandemonium, I do see a major disconnect from their online personas and who they actually are. There is no integrity with what is being posted and how they actually behave in real life. This insincerity is hypocritical and, in a sense, manipulative. I see them post a whole heap of mumbo-jumbo crap while their life is chaotic, meaningless, and has very little substance to making any difference to the world. It is in the same light as showing us your last meal, doing a Facebook Live, waiting for the first person to join in just so you can engage with them with your childish 14-year-old voice with a, "Hi guys." They're so cringeworthy when they do that. Or showing us that you are travelling to Hawaii just so we, the lucky scroller, can be in awe of how successful and lucky you are. Now, while their social media life is FOMO worthy, in real life, most of them struggle with creating and sustaining meaningful, loving relationships. But now, this desire to drive FOMO in others has actually an objective. With people posting shots, it is merely to spark envy in others. Yeah, that's a thing also. I hear what you're about to say. What is the harm in someone sharing a positive quote, crafting a carefully curated video, or raving about their last magical experience? And I guess if these attention seekers need validation, what's the issue? I mean, you would have to agree it creates a distorted sense of reality. In between everything happens for a reason and be fearless lies real life, which is not perfect. Life is messy. Fear is a necessary emotion for survival. Reaching goals are not about magic. It's about hard work, strategy, and the occasional dose of persistence and good timing. When I see these quotes, I see the fluff. It's insincere and inauthentic. My take on it would be, come up with your own quote. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely people out there who have the credibility and the character that backs up the content that they post. But for the most part, many self-professed spiritual gurus don't. It just seems that anyone with a mobile device is now an instant publisher and can have influence. Also, certain posts are shared purely with the intention for validation, which, if you were watching a few weeks ago, I did a video on. They are fitting in and shaping public perception of their personal brand and agenda, and that's really just a big lie packaged up in Helvetica 24-point bold. Now, I'm not suggesting that everyone starts posting photos of the mundane and sharing complaints on their Facebook status updates, but do we need to become more conscious of what and how we consume social media? Inspirational quotes are, by definition, meant to garner attention by being deliberately ambiguous. And like I said at the beginning, you just have to stop. Why? Because you're not an intellectual enigma, and posting John Lennon quotes with a backdrop of a single flower is not going to convince anyone that you are. Why do you need to communicate via words that are not your own and which only vaguely applies to your specific situation? I know this sounds a little harsh, but you know I'm right. So just remember this the next time you feel tempted to send your shitty boyfriend or girlfriend a cryptic message by posting something empowering Oprah once said about womanhood. So be warned, inspo quoters, I have deciphered your code and you are fooling nobody. So I'm going to leave you with this. Dare to be yourself. You can quote me on that. So what do you think? Do you think quotes are a waste of time, or do they really inspire you? Leave your comments below. In fact, don't leave me a comment below. Leave me a quote below and tell me what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, don't forget, mosey on over there. Hit that subscribe button so that you'll be informed. I'm Gerald Pauschmann for The Point TV.